what do you think that we just listen to every single one and we rank them in order from the best one and the not best one?
I'm down for it. I feel like I don't remember the EDs as much, so having a refresher would be helpful.
I'm gonna put them in my Death Note.
I respect it.
And yeah, just talk about a little bit of FMAB, because FMAB hasn't been on this channel at all, and I hate that. Because it's my.
Oh my god, has it not been at all?
At all, and it's fun fact, my favorite anime ever.
As it should be. Again, man, I think what determines whether AOT or FMAB is a better show is literally just how AOT ends. Because nothing else matters.
The thing is, it might be recency bias because I haven't rewatched FMAB in a long time. So maybe if
like, for what it's worth, I watched FMAB in full for the first time since I was a child in the last like 2 years, and I honestly think they're about as good as each other. Like, I don't think one is much better. Well, I mean, obviously one wouldn't be much better than the other, but I don't even know if I can confidently say one is like better than the other.
Yeah, I
mean, they're just really good at different things.
I think they both succeeded better in certain areas.
Yeah, it's a question of what you're trying to achieve, and I think they both achieve what they were going for very well.
I agree. But yeah, Fullmetal Alchemist, favorite anime ever, second favorite show ever.
Wait, what's your first favorite show?
Avatar: The Last Airbender. I think Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood is better than Avatar.
I don't know why I thought you would say Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad is number 3, actually.
It's the best non-anime show.
It's the best non-anime show I've ever watched, unless we count miniseries, because then I'd probably have to give it to Band of Brothers. But that's a little unfair.
Fair. I haven't watched Band of Brothers, but you did have quite high praise for it.
It's astounding. Every episode opens up with commentary from the living members of Easy Company, which is just, it's harrowing. Like,
did you say Yeezy Company?
Yo, man, we about to go fight it. Well, that's a conflict of interest, isn't it? But yeah, you know, Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. I'm just gonna press play. Are you ready to just jam?
I'm ready. I'm always ready to jam.
All right,
especially when it's this song. Dude, the next video, too, I've watched that shit as well. Oh, the Naruto Shippuden OPs. I know the fucking thumbnail.
And this one is absolutely straight fire, no denying. But I think people, like, it overshadows all the other ones, and I think it's unjustly. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, I think this is a top running one, but most people don't even acknowledge the other ones.
Oh yeah, well, I think any like first OP gets a little bit too much credit in every show.
Yeah. Because that's just the opener. That's the exposure.
Yeah, and this one is really good.
It's so good, dude.
Honestly, I think in terms of visual composition, this is the best one.
Maybe.
Like, I think, like, in terms of visual storytelling,
you mad,
and just the way that look at this shit, the way it introduces you to the series.
It's so good. Dude, it's so good.
And like they do the anime thing of like introducing every character with like a 1 second shot, but like so quickly and so well.
And then we get a little Sakuga or whatever it's called, fucking in the opening.
Scar being dramatic.
Who is your favorite character in Fullmetal? Not the best character, just your favorite.
Man, I mean,
top 3 if that's what needs to happen.
Like number 1 it's probably just Roy Mustang. He's so
probably Mustang.
Yeah, but honestly, I think a sleeper character who's maybe not in my top 3, but is very underrated is Lan Fan.
You're right. Also, I adore this outro. I think this one has the most interesting animation.
No, it's really cool. It's not like, you know, Chainsaw Man having 30 OPs for every episode, but
no.
For this season of Chainsaw Man, we have decided to use a different animation studio for every episode.
Season 4 is going to be every frame.
No, Season 2 will be animated by the studio that made Teen Titans Go.
Oh, you're just little cute little guys.
This shit looks so fun to animate.
Dude, I love Alex. I love songs like this. It's most songs, I guess, but like the ones that it's just like, wow, that opening version is very good, but then the second time it comes around, you're like, oh, that hits even harder.
Oh yeah. I want that coat.
Not here, Minnesota.
Yo, they're repping our shit.
That's our state.
I always forget that, like, in the first part of the show, the only 3 relevant homunculi are those 3, like, gluttony, fucking lust, and envy.
Well, Wrath is, but we just
true.
don't
He's
know
quite
it.
relevant. Yeah.
Dude, Fuhrer Bradley might be my favorite fucking villain, if we don't count Scar as a villain.
Oh, yeah.
And here's the GOAT!
This one's so fucking, they're all so good.
Dude, when fucking Ling and Bradley fight, and then L'Enfant, major spoilers by the way, and then L'Enfant fucking cuts off her own hand and tapes it to a dog. So
oh my god, that shit was fire. Like, L'Enfant's dedication is crazy.
Crazy. And then when she meets up with May, and they're both hurt, it's like on sight. Like, May just immediately throws kunais. It's like, hey, bitch.
I know, like, we're in the era of, like, side series to the point where I'm tired of it, but I wish we got a side series, like, over in the fucking East.
I would dig it.
It'd be so dope. I want to, like, let us keep following Ling. God, we need a Disney Plus Ling show.
Oh, it hits so hard!
Animation is so good, too.
And this part especially. This is the intro that had Lust versus Mustang. That fight, Death of the Undying. Mwah.
Oh, and this part is so fucking good,
good.
dude.
This video's on like 480p and it's still fire.
Literally, it's because the shit aired in like 480p. Hell yeah. I watched a video breaking down how the color composition of this OP sucks because there's like 7 different blues, but still.
Shut the fuck, you suck. Also, this one isn't my favorite except for when it's used in the episodes.
Yeah, it hits different in that case.
So like when it's like the Hohenheim recap episode, and like he's about to like succumb to like the more despair aspects of being the dichotomy between him and father, and then fucking little Trisha shows up and is like, yo, don't give up on humanity, and if you can't have faith in humanity, have faith in us. And it shows all the people of Rizambul, like his family, and this thing is hitting. It's like, god damn!
Oh yeah. So all of the OPs hit different. When this kicks in during the episode too.
Yeah.
Don't give up, Hohenheim. It's like, you're goddamn
You're
right.
goddamn right!
Oh my god.
I think this might be the one that plays when I might be wrong, but I think this is the one that plays when Edwards finds Alphonse's body.
Yeah. Oh my god, it is.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, where he's like, wait for me.
Yeah. Just wait! Like,
oh my god.
God!
That's honestly one of the best scenes in the show.
Oh, absolutely. I like, he's getting dragged and he punches through the door again.
It's so good. It's so fucking good.
Oh, here's the one with the English.
Oh, yeah. Hearing all these in order just feels right. It's like when you listen to your Spotify playlist with shuffle off.
Uh-huh. It's like, this was the intended listening order.
Yeah. Fuck. It feels weird to, like, just mix up the order, and then it's like, this isn't the song that comes after that.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's wrong.
Yo, they put a giant lizard in the show. Let's go.
So in the manga, around the same time that... let's see, I think it's about the same time as the fight with Fuhrer Bradley and Ling. We cut to a scene of Hohenheim on a train, and he gets shot saving people. Oh. And it, like, it's not in the anime, and it's, like, shows that he's, like, something different. I'm like, I don't know if that's better or worse, because I kind of like having him be way more mysterious.
Yeah, for sure. It is God. It's fucking the shot change between, like,
golden time!
The shot change between fucking Father and Hohenheim is so good, because we don't know who the hell those guys are yet, really.
Not really, no. Well, by this point in time,
of this one,
by this point in time, we know that they're different people, at least.
Yeah. God, I wish I could go back to watching the show for the very first time.
Oh,
where, like, Father and Hohenheim look the same, and you're like, what the fuck?
What the fuck is going on here?
bass line hits so fucking hard.
And this is the rap one.
Oh yeah, this is another one where like I didn't like it as much at first, but when it hits, it hits.
It hits, exactly.
Yo, anime that people like that has a female character that doesn't fucking suck. Let's go.
Let's fucking go. Multiple.
I'm just thinking of Naruto.
We got fucking Winry. We've got Hawkeye. We've got Hawkeye's a peak.
Hawkeye's
by the way,
fantastic.
Hawkeye's
Lust
best
is a
girl.
great villain.
Lust is
It's
a great
funny
villain.
because like the seductress villain archetype feels like a cliche, but Lust somehow doesn't feel like
cliche.
she was written to the cliche. Yeah.
No.
Because
Well,
Lust is
like,
her thing, but like she just is
It's not
also
like she's
just a murderer.
grinded up
Like,
against everything, you know? Like,
yeah, she's just hot, and also she murders people. That's my girl right there.
dude.
When she gets
that
the fucking
gets
robot
hard.
arm.
Yep.
I forgot about the panda. I can't believe they brought him into Jujutsu Kaisen.
I know, right? It's crazy. What a
The
what a
crossover.
glow up.
God, the Shonen Extended Universe.
I'd watch it. Even though
I
it
guess
would
we
hurt
shouldn't
my-
be surprised. We shouldn't be surprised they have good female characters. Given, I'm pretty sure this was written by a woman.
This was written by a woman. Yeah.
Yeah, women are good at writing women.
It's surprising
Newsflash.
that there's good men. Isn't that how that works?
Yeah, honestly, just I feel like all the men were just dicks with voices attached to them. Oh, is this the one? Hell yeah! This is like probably my personal favorite.
I think number 2 is
Just
my
like-
personal favorite.
I can respect that. Just like, I don't know, when this one kicks in at the start of every episode, I'm like, fuck yeah, it's time for some Fullmetal Alchemist.
I think that's like the key important thing for an outro. When I hear the
Yeah.
opening of an outro, that has to give me the fuel of like, yes, I need to watch another one. And I think no one does that better than the next one.
Oh, 100%. It's getting hyped at the end of the episode is such a feeling.
Yep.
And this one, like, I don't know, it makes me feel the conflict. It's like, it makes you feel how much of a fucking battle this is gonna be.
Uh-huh.
And it
This
gets
is
you
the
so
one
hyped
right.
for
This
these
is them
fights.
getting ready. This one getting ready for the promise day.
Literally, like, we're building up to all these crazy ass fights.
Uh-huh.
And shout out to fucking Sloth for getting clapped in like one episode.
Hey,
He, like-
who is he up against though? Come on. Like,
I mean, that's our boy.
that's our boy.
Everyone in this show is our boy.
Absolutely. Fucking even like the little lizard guy that like is Greed's lackey. When he
Yeah.
dies, I'm like, damn, rip. Here
Pour
it
one out for
comes.
the boy.
Here it comes.
Yeah.
Let's go!
Oh my god.
To this
could be the OP.
day, it could be. To this day, I remember one of my favorite fucking episodes or moments is where Ed and Al get the message to Mustang, and it like goes through all these people to get to him, and
Yeah.
like by the time he gets it, this starts kicking in. Oh, like it's
It fucking
so
hits.
good.
They could play this shit over the whole 22-minute run of the episode. Like,
They could.
and like, fucking, the start of it hits, but then this part coming out, like the fucking chorus is just like, I don't know what the hell they're saying, but I'm down for it.
Yep. You know what? I think if they had to do like a play as anime OP during the final fight, I think this one would have been the best option.
Yeah, for sure. This does have like Kirito fighting fucking Kayaba vibes.
Yeah.
Like,
Which is hilarious because that one didn't have the opening play.
God damn it, dude. It did in the good version of the show.
You're damn right.
Ah. That's so good. Whose hands are those?
That's an excellent question. I think they might be Edward's and Alphonse's.
Yeah, I guess so. Oh shit, spoiler. Was that revealed at that point? The fucking the whole country is a transmutation circle thing?
This, I believe so, yes.
Okay.
This one is, at least at the time of my last asking, is Joe's favorite.
I could see that. Like, I don't know. They're all so good that I completely understand it either way.
No, yeah.
And this feels appropriate for, like, the end of the series.
Dude! It's a spoiler alert! But when they fucking when they fucking force Mustang to open the portal, and then he fucking loses his eyes? Oh my god!
It's the fuck. I hate when they like blind somebody and then the character's like, yo, it's dark in here.
Human arrogance.
We gotta turn the lights back on.
Oh, you're right, yeah. I was referring to like what Alphonse calls out, where Father's like, look, arrogant humans. It's like, you forced his ass!
Literally, he didn't want to do this shit.
You gave him an ultimatum. He chose no, and then you said, actually, you chose yes!
Just the average Telltale game.
You're absolutely right. They straight up, Mustang will remember that, him.
Fullmetal Alchemist story mode.
Fullmetal Alchemist
Perform
will
human
remember
transmutation? Yeah, the truth will remember that.
Yeah, he'll go, if you say yes or no, if you choose no, Alphonse will go, but don't we want to see Mom? And Edward will go, yeah, you're right.
He just does it anyway.
Yeah. Alphonse will remember that. Dies. And then the last one.
This is by far my least favorite ED, but it's not bad.
This is by far my least favorite ED. And I think one of the issues is that when this started, I didn't get the I must watch another one. Like, this one didn't rejuvenate me like the other ones.
It feels like the end of an episode, not in a bad way. It's just like, all right, I've finished the episode, on to the next. So, like, if I were binging this, I wouldn't be like, on to the next one. I'd be like, all right.
Like, this is an AD that makes me check the clock and see that it's 2:40 in the morning.
No, this sounds like the end of the night.
It does sound like the end of the night. Like, and I don't think that's like it's not bad. It's just like I don't want to sleep when I'm watching the other ones.
Yeah.
Fuck, it's hot in my room.
Damn, this house looks surprisingly like suburban 1980s. Holy shit, who's that?
And another like thing that I think EDs need is they need that powerful opening, because most people they'll only get like 10-15 seconds.
For sure. This, in a weird way, this does feel appropriate for the final ED.
You're right.
Like, I think Naruto Shippuden also has a really boring final ED, or not really boring, but just not nearly as good. But it's the same vibe where it's like, all right,
finality.
Like if this plays,
if this plays at the
end of the last episode, I'm down for it.
I'm down for it. I think you're right. It has that feeling.
It's something you would listen to, like, when you finish the series and you're just sitting there like, damn.
Damn. No, there is no watch next episode anymore.
Yeah, I'm not hype. I'm just like, it's the empty feeling of like finishing a new book.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. But so where are we at? What do we think?
Fuck. I mean, yeah, that's definitely. I'll start with EDs because we just did that one. That's definitely the worst ED. Still fantastic. Definitely the worst.
I have to agree.
Then, Jesus, I'm already fucking forgetting them. Holy shit. The first one is Anohi, Minnesota.
Yep.
That.
Either that or.
Oh no! Yeah, I was trying to remember literally what the first ED was.
Oh yeah, the first one is Minnesota. The second one is Let It All Out.
Okay.
Let It All Out. Which again, that one, when I'm just listening to it, I'm like, okay. Well, now when I listen to it, I'm like, let's go, party time.
Yeah, I think that one is perfectly in the middle of the pack. Let It All Out is like my 3.
I think that one gets higher than you would expect just because of its utilization in the actual episodes.
I think so, but I don't think it definitely doesn't clear fucking. That's number 1, probably.
Probably.
Number 2, God, what are the other ones? Hold on. Fucking, what was the 4th one?
The 4th one, that's isn't that well, the 4th one, that's
Oh, that is the 4th one.
The 3rd one is
that's probably number 4 for me. It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'd say the last one is number 5. Doop 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 is probably number 4. Let It All Out is what's the other one? There's a one I'm forgetting here, which is probably not a good sign for its quality, but
no, you're not. There's 5 EDs and 5 OPs. It's
no, that's the problem.
Minnesota,
I'm forgetting 5.
Let It All Out, Rap, and then the last one.
Hold on. I'm pulling up this video.
Minnesota.
Fucking. Is that? Oh no, that's Let It All Out.
I think I'm gonna go Let It All Out at number 3, and then Minnesota at number 2, and then Banana at number 4. Oh, excuse me, at number 1.
Okay, yeah, I can respect that. Fucking. Okay, yeah, okay, yeah, I got them all straight in my head. Yeah, last one, number 5. Rap one, number 4. Fucking.
Let It All Out, number 2.
Honestly,
or number 3.
Yeah, honestly, I think I would put Minnesota at number 3, Let It All Out at number 2.
I was weighing it. That one's kind of interchangeable for me. I much prefer the utilization of Let It All Out in the episodes, and I think that's just great. But I think the actual animation of the outro is the coolest.
Yeah, it's definitely the most unique.
Yeah. So that one's interchangeable for me, but number 1 is obviously do.
Yeah, because that one bangs watching it and when it's during the episode.
Exactly. It's a double whammy.
Yeah. It's gonna have to Let It All Out is it's good enough that it's good enough in both situations. It's gonna have to be my number 2. But OPs
here's where things get
this is fucking impossible.
Here's where things get dangerous. Again, I know this might be controversial. I think I'm gonna put the last opening at the bottom position.
I can understand that. I don't agree with it probably, but I can understand it.
It's either that or here's the thing, like I think my number 1 and 2 are pretty strong. But then my 3, 4, and 5, I think that one is a harder debate. Because personally, it's number 2 is number 1 is number 2.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me clarify.
Fuck, dude. I'm gonna say number 1 is number 1 for me. I think it is that good. I don't think it's substantially better than the other ones, but I think it's just it's extremely solid in absolutely every aspect. Visually, the song itself, the way it gets you hyped up for the episode, and how it introduces the story, it just doesn't miss.
It does a good fucking job.
Yeah, I genuinely cannot think of anything wrong with it.
Hold on, I think I fucked up my little streamy thingy.
That shit fucking bangs.
Oh, no, I didn't. Good. It bangs hard. But let's see.
God, I'm just rewatching the scene of King Bradley fighting those dudes on like the collapsed bridge and shit. It's
dude.
So cool.
Do they really think I'll disrespect myself by entering through the back door of my own palace?
He's so fucking cool.
He's such a cool villain.
I'm like, it's good when you're like rooting for the villain, even when you know that they're wrong. It's like, I'm sorry,
he's like the
innocent
unstoppable
soldiers.
Terminator.
Yeah. I'm sorry, innocent soldiers trying to defend the castle, but I want to see King Bradley do some cool shit.
It's like, bro, you're in a tank, and I know you're fucked.
That's true, honestly. I feel like they've done a very good job establishing the villain's power, where I'm worried about the people in front of him instead of him, and they are in tanks.
They're in tanks. Those things that are designed to be bulletproof, let alone human-proof.
Not exactly King Bradley proof.
They are apparently they're not sword proof. Apparently.
Something about King Bradley having 2 swords in his OP, like he does in general, but just fighting 2 dudes at the same time without like barely looking back at one of them is the coolest shit I've ever seen.
Dude, the reveal where it's like, I can clearly see your weakness with my ultimate eye, as his eye patch falls down and he has the fucking Ouroboros tattoo.
It's so good.
Which is why I think for Brotherhood, the correct viewing order is episode 2, then episode 1, then episode 3, it's episode 3, then episode 2, then episode 4, and then it's just straight on. Skip episode 1. Now, I like, it's okay. I like their original anime villain. I think it's a fun little thing, but it's for people who watched Fullmetal Alchemist, right?
Yeah,
it's not for
sure.
people who are new to the show.
Yeah, and I think like it's one of those things that if you introduce the show to somebody who doesn't watch much anime, episode 1 is going to be a lot worse than someone who even just watches anime in general but hasn't seen FMA. Because I don't know, I think there's a lot of concepts in Fullmetal Alchemist that are very easy to accept if you already watch anime. Where it's like, okay, this is like the episode 1 type shit. They're introducing this aspect of the world, blah, blah, blah. It's not great, but it's like, all right, I get it. If you watch anime, you'll be familiar enough with the format that it's like, okay.
I get what the setup. Forward. Yep.
Yeah.
So you start off with episode 3 because that's the Lior. That's the Father Leto or Cornello. And Rose and shit. So that gives you an idea of what the series is gonna be like. Gives you mystery on who the characters are in this magical world of powers and shit. It gives you what they're looking for, the Philosopher's Stone. And,
it is weird as fuck that they don't really introduce that in the first episode. The whole Philosopher's Stone thing.
That is the first episode of... Well, they introduce it. They introduce... oh,
yeah, true. That's true.
Because they assume that he has a Philosopher's Stone. What's his name? The Freezing Blood Alchemist or whatever.
Yeah, just the fucking one episode with the sun god Leto does a way better job of introducing like what a Philosopher's Stone could actually be.
Mm-hmm. And then so you're like, oh, but this is a fun little story about these two boys. One of them has no body. That's weird. But they're like really good at this magic called alchemy. Cool. And then the next episode is, oh, that's why. And and so drops you in there. But yeah, I think number 2 is my number 1. Number 1 is my number 2. And then I think... I can't decide if my number 3 is Golden Time Lover or the second to last one.
Ooh, yeah. Honestly, I think Golden Time Lover is my number 3. The second to last one, I actually changed my opinion. I'm putting it at number 4. In fact, I'm ranking them literally based on the order they come out in. That's my ranking. I'm completely serious.
I am the exact same, except slightly different.
Yeah, we swapped our 1 and 2, but otherwise, like...
Yep.
Because they're all fantastic.
They're all fantastic!
God, I think literally just the shot of King Bradley fighting those two guys brings it to my number 2. With
the fucking... Oh, wait, you're talking about, which one?
Oh, literally the second one. That's my number 2.
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, that one, that's my fucking... That one has my favorite fucking musical moment.
Yeah. It's such, like, it follows the anime OP, like, song structure, but, like, as well as you possibly can.
Yeah.
Because, like, it starts strong, and then it comes down for a little bit, but it, like, you can feel it building up. And, like, it's also, like, I don't know, it comes down a little bit and gets a little bit more calm, but the whole song feels very, like... It's like upbeat but also awesome when it needs to be in the way that Fullmetal Alchemist is.
You're right.
Where like, yeah, even when that show comes down, it can be kind of silly, kind of comedy, but when it really matters, it like comes in. And that's how this OP feels.
I think one of the best parts about Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood is like, there are very few like, whoa, that like when you think of like best anime fights ever, like, most people, when they think of that, they're like, okay, I'm looking for, like, Demon Slayer Season 2, where it's, like, amazing animation and shit like that. But, like, Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood's fight strengths don't come from, like, oh, look at this choreography, look at this animation. Which, I mean, they're good.
It's part of it.
But, like, the strength of the fight scenes, it's like, oh my god, it's Führer Bradley versus Scar. Bradley's injured, and and Scar has a trick up his sleeve. But the real thing is you have the man whose entire identity was built on the Ishbalan massacre, civil war, and now the man who sent out the order to do it, who's also part of the organization that orchestrated it into this big grand conspiracy. But it's 2 nameless men at the end of the world. Who, all that's left is just them and each other. It's the thematic and character work that they do for these fights, that's what slaps so damn hard.
For sure. And, like, I think a lot of things in storytelling are like this, where if you can introduce the idea of a scene without explaining anything about it except the bare bones details and people are excited, you have introduced your characters correctly.
It's Oh,
It's like, yeah, it's that. It's like King Bradley versus Scar. Just by you saying that, you don't need to say anything else. I'm like, that's gonna be a fucking banger. That scene's gonna be incredible. Which means I know exactly who King Bradley is. I know exactly who Scar is. I know what they stand for, and I know what it means that those two are going against each other. Which is what's important. Like the fight itself could be like meh, but as long as I understand what is fighting what thematically, and the characters representing it, it's gonna be hype.
And funny enough, I think My Hero Academia, maybe to a lesser extent, but My Hero Academia has very similar fights. They are much more predicated on the characters that are in the fight rather than the actual fight itself.
Yeah, and what they represent. It's like that's why Deku and Bakugo fighting every single time is so cool, because it's the Naruto and Sasuke thing. It's like, it's not simply friend fighting rival. It's like these two represent such differing approaches to the same thing. And so it's a question, like spoilers, when in, what was it, season 3 where they fight and Bakugo beats Deku, it's like, at the last moment, it's like, it's genuinely super impactful, because it's like, oh my god, like, Bakugo, we went all out for this one, and he actually, like, fuck it, his perspective wins for this battle.
And, you know, think of, like, I think still to this day, probably the most impactful and important fight, maybe not anymore now with Season 6, was All Might versus All For One. And when you break that fight down, it was, I shoot a thing, you block it. I shoot a thing, you block it. We punch each other once, and then you punch me again, and that's the entire fight. But it is still the biggest fight, possibly, of the entire show. And it's not about the choreography. I think the best way I could compare it is, I think the fights in the prequels, for the most part, were really good because of how well choreographed they were, how, like, cool the fights were. The fights in the original trilogy of Star Wars are really good, not because of the choreography. It's very basic, simple, like, of the time movie sword fighting, but of the meaning of the fights. Yeah. So it's like Tengen versus Gyataro. I think that's more of a prequel fight than an OT fight. Because
it's not that it has no plot significance. It's just very big on spectacle, and this is the villain we need to defeat.
Exactly. Well, I think All For One versus All Might, or in this case, basically any fight from Fullmetal, is an OT fight.
Yeah, for sure. Where it leans very heavily on the story of you understanding the story stakes and the themes. The themes aren't even necessarily that big of a deal. It's just understanding the stakes. Yeah. And the stakes don't have to be literally like, if I lose, the Empire falls or whatever. It could be something as simple as like, if Deku loses to Bakugo, like, what does that mean for their relationship? Or how is this going to affect like the way Bakugo and Deku look at themselves? All that shit. That's very real. Those are very real stakes. And getting that makes the fight super impactful.
Yeah. So all in all, Fullmetal Alchemist, absolute banger. Would listen again.
Absolutely. I would live. Yeah, I didn't watch the show, but the OPs are great.
That kind of pisses me off, honestly, when some people do that. Like, I understand why.
Also, like, there's fucking huge spoilers in some of these OPs.
I know. Like, I've seen a few where it's like, you know, non-anime watchers react to the all Attack on Titan openings, and it's like, yeah, they're bangers, but like, you'll know about Thunder Spears before you even know what Titans are. Like,
and the Rumbling.
And the Rumbling! Spoiler alert.
It's literally called the Rumbling, the OP.
You won't even... You'll learn about the Rumbling before you even know that Titans are in the walls!
Oh my god, you're right. God, where did all these Titans come from? God damn.
You'll learn about the Rumbling before you learn what a Titan is!
You start the show like, why are these Titans so small and not red?
Why are there so many naked people? What the fuck?
Where's the scene where the Titans trip down the mountain?
Oh, I thought they were a bunch of really small people. No, it's the other things that are big.
We're all Titans inside. Some of us are just tiny. Oh, you know, you want an example of a fight that slaps because of its choreography and because of its story stakes? What? You didn't watch Shippuden, and I didn't watch Shippuden up until this point, but Kakashi versus Obito is probably one of the best fights in anime history.
So, the thing is, I technically did watch that fight.
You watched the fight?
I played Shonen Jump's Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm 4. So, okay. I got the gist.
That is a better story experience than the show.
It was like sophomore year of high school.
Like, hold on. Look at this. I'm pulling it up because I rewatch this shit once a week. Fucking, it's so good. it's just like everything about it makes me happy because you don't even have to have watched the show to understand the stakes. Because like it builds it into the fight so naturally.
But like you know that this is basically just Sasuke versus Naruto before Sasuke versus Naruto. Oh,
Yeah,
and they do the cutbacks to their first fight. Oh, that shit's good.
That's the thing. You don't even need to have watched it because you get it. And there's only just some sad fucking music playing in the background, and these two guys scrapping in an empty room.
Literally, you could read this scene without having any idea of who these characters are, and you can understand what this is about.
Yeah.
Like with the sullen music. Like these are people who have broken apart, and they once had a decent relationship at the very least, but now it is to the death, and you don't know how either truly feels about it.
Yeah. Yeah, just it's that type of scene where it's just, you know, neither of them wanted it to come to this, but here we are.
Here we are. It has to be this way.
I'm actually very impressed by the choreography, given that this is a completely empty room. Like, the shit with like the kunai flying in the air. It takes so much more effort than if there were props to work with.
And you get it from both of each other's perspectives, and then that's good fight.
God, it's so fucking
that's
good.
That's the next one we should do, you know, next week or whatever, when we, you know, spend another hour before we watch Fate Stay Night. That's best Naruto fights. That's the one.
Honestly, yeah. God, this shit happens so often in Naruto. How do you let this be? How do you let that be you?
Give him the 10,000 years of death.
Imagine.
Wood style. Summoning of the Great Senate 10,000 year 8 trigram 98 Emperor Dynasty.
And it summons like 3 big trees.
Dude, Hashirama, abbreviate that shit.
And how do you let this be you?
Oh my, you have the Sharingan, Kakashi!
You fool!
Oh, he's only got one Sharingan, so there's no Sharingan depth perception. Like...
Oh, and also, fuck, he let that be him.
Obito has the Sharingan and the Rinnegan. That's the Rinnegan, right?
Yeah, don't ask me how he lost this fight with the Rinnegan.
Oh, and then it overlays it into their position.
And this is especially meaningful because, like, I don't know if this was covered in Ultimate Ninja Storm 4, but, like, how Kakashi had to kill the other member of their squad, by accident, but...
Just seeing what would happen to Naruto if he truly, you know, fell into despair.
Yeah, man. Fucking, it's so good.
But yeah, I think that's where we're gonna end. That was Fullmetal Alchemist, Brotherhood, all openings.
It was.
Yeah.
Fucking... Now we can spend 48 minutes watching every Naruto Shippuden opening.
And then we may finally get to Fate Stay Night. I don't want to watch anymore! Hercules is dead!
But what if it gets better?
I have all this black licorice. Like...
Oh god, what the fuck?
This is... I told you, this was a black licorice episode. Like...
Oh, you're actually consuming black licorice?
No, I'm fiddling with it.
It's just a vibe, yeah.
Alright, well, thank you all for watching. Bye.
Yep, alright. See you later, everybody.